Starfield's spaceships are clearly a massive part of the game, but what about spaceship interiors? Spaceship interiors is definitely something we'll be seeing a lot of in Starfield, considering it looks like we'll be constantly returning to our ships after exploring a planet, and like I said in a video the other day, we'll probably be spending as much time in our ships as we would usually walk in Bethesda Game Studios games. In fact, it looks like we won't even be able to fast travel on foot from planet to planet, and instead we'll likely still have to get back to our spaceships, take them out into the atmosphere, and then fast travel for a hyper jump mechanic, or something along those lines in order to actually get somewhere quickly, aka fast travel. I don't think we'll be able to just open up our map and hit one button to get somewhere anymore. So spaceship interiors is something a lot of people have been wondering about, since we're clearly going to be seeing a lot of them. Will we actually be able to customize them? Can we walk around them with our ships in some kind of auto flight or autopilot mode? Will our companions or crew members be able to fly our ships for us? There's a whole lot that we need to talk about in today's video, so let's not waste any time and just get straight to the point. The very first thing I want to discuss is customizable interiors, which, as I'm sure you all know if you subscribe to me and watch a lot of my videos, I'm very much hoping for. I've stated before how I really want the inside of our ships to work like the outpost building or settlement building from Fallout 4. I really hope that we can change where seats and tables go, create bedrooms for ourselves and companions, maybe even put in kitchens and living room areas for our ships, change the wallpaper, flooring, etc. the list goes on. The most we've ever seen from our spaceship interiors is from the first ever Starfield trailer, dating all the way back to 2021. Remember when we thought that we was going to be able to play this game in 2022? Yeah, good times. Anyway, where we clearly see the player walking around through his ship. Now again, if you subscribe to me for a while, there's a good chance that you'll remember this trailer, since I used to have it on repeat throughout my background footage of my old crappy videos. But this trailer does indicate at least some kind of customization. We can see a table here that has a Starfield map on it, but it's also filled with junk, such as this coffee mug, the pen and paper, and this weird tablet thing here. But actually, if we look at the full showcase, specifically this shot here, we can see the exact same ship interior, both on the Frontier, which is our first ship in the game. We can see all of the same junk items on the table here, but they've actually moved. So okay, great, maybe we can choose where we place down junk, such as a coffee mug. Not that big of a deal, right? But the next shot I want to talk about is this shot here with the broken helmet. I do wonder if these stoves will act as shelves, which we can customize, putting books on and cases as seen here, and maybe even helmets too. And in this next shot, we can see pictures of Vasco on a bunch of different planets, which does indicate us being able to take pictures and display them on our ships, as we do know that Starfield will feature a photo mode, which I'm very excited for. But okay, all of that's well and good, but will we actually be able to customize our spaceship interiors? Because if we look at the showcase footage and skip on forward to the spaceship building part, there's nothing here that shows any kind of evidence of customizing the interior of our ships. And in fact, it looks like every cockpit has a set interior. And honestly, I've got to say, this is one of the few things I am really worried about. Now look, not having customizable interiors isn't going to ruin Starfield for me, so don't get me wrong. But if we have just set interiors for each spaceship part we choose to build, I will be a little disappointed, especially considering we do have outpost building in the game, and I just don't think it would have been that difficult to put a smaller version of that into our spaceships. I just personally know that it will bug me. I'll design a super cool ship, but hate how a table is placed on the inside or something small like that, and then forever be annoyed that I can't move it, when we can probably build and move the exact same table or chair or whatever in an outpost, you know? Customization is always one of the best things about Bethesda games, whether that's customization of your house in Skyrim, or Fallout 4, or even just being able to choose which armor to mix together. It's not often that I say Starfield absolutely needs something, but I think that this is one of those times when, yeah, I think customizable spaceship interiors is something the game needs, and it's just gonna feel a little meh if it doesn't, you know? But again, at the exact same time, I don't think it is that big of a deal. It's not going to completely ruin the game for me, but if I play Starfield for the first time, build an awesome looking ship, and then finally walk inside it and realise it looks like crap on the inside and I can't change it, I'm probably just going to stare at my monitor and think, really, Bethesda, you couldn't have added customizable interiors, you know? But still keeping on track with our spaceship interior discussion, I did make a video a long time ago talking about minigames in Starfield, basically just discussing how Bethesda Game Studios love to test things for their next game in their previous game's DLC, and Fallout 4's final DLC in Nuka World adds in an entire arcade which we can use. Well, if we're sitting around in our spaceships with an autopilot mode on, which we will discuss here in a minute, just waiting hours and hours to get from one side of the map to the other, what better way is there to pass the time than to play a minigame? Well, if we take a look at this part of the showcase, there may be evidence towards minigames here. We can see a pool table here and possibly a dartboard in the background, and this does definitely look like a spaceship interior, at least to my eyes. Now I know, Fallout 4 also had pool tables, but we couldn't use them, but this pool table actually has balls inside of it.
That's what she said!
So hey, maybe this does indicate that we can actually use this pool table despite the countless junk sitting on said pool table. And as for the dartboard, I'm not sure if this even is a dartboard, it just kinda looks like one to me. And you know what, while we're here, I've never pointed this out before, but it's something I've always been wondering about. Is this a microwave? Anyway, of course all of this does assume that we can even have an autopilot mode to begin with, and that takes us to companions, crew members, and especially Vasco. We know from Vasco's teaser trailer that Vasco is a full member of Constellation, and his job is to help us with long, extended overland journeys.
Capable of traversing rough terrain with all the survival gear and payload capacity needed for extended overland journeys.
And we also know that Vasco was built and designed to meet the requirements of helping Constellation.
Vasco was refurbished to meet the requirements of Constellation's mission.
So maybe all of this does indicate that Vasco can fly our ship for us. Of course I am just speculating here, but it would be cool if Vasco or one of the many crew members that we know we can hire across Starfield's massive map could do this for us, allowing us to actually get up, walk around our ships mid-flight to maybe craft some food or upgrade our weapons, or like we were just talking about, play some in-game minigames. Or maybe our ships just have an autopilot mode, since we know that Starfield is attempting a somewhat grounded and realistic approach. Obviously not too realistic, that would be ridiculous and honestly quite boring, but set in a universe where our real life spaceflight could be in over 300 years, and in real life spaceships do have a type of autopilot. But that is pretty much everything that I have to say today guys, so let me know in the comments if you think Starfield will feature customizable interiors for our spaceships, and more importantly, do you hope it will? If you enjoyed the video, I kindly ask that you leave it a like, as it really does help out the channel more than you can imagine. And hey look, Starfield Direct is just a mere few weeks away and we're all very excited. So if you want to stay up to date on everything that comes out of that showcase, consider subscribing, because we're going to be slowly covering it for weeks after it's shown off. Everything from Starfield leaks to official news, I've always got you covered, so consider subscribing, it would mean the world. Lastly, as always, a big massive thank you to our channel members, you guys are the best, and I cannot thank you enough for supporting me months after months, and it truly is appreciated. And hey, if you haven't joined our Discord yet, you definitely should, so I can add you to the VIP realm and you can join us in talking Starfield every single day. But with all of that said and done, I thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.